I think overall, I think Turtle Troops is like one of the most underrated teams in the whole entire league for sure. I think a lot of people are just counting them out, kind of a thing. But I think for sure that team has lots of very capable players. I think they've been putting a lot of work in, and I think it's even like showing in their matches. I mean, they had like a decently close series against M80. They had, I mean, they overall, I think they've been showing that they're not just like a free B team that you can just beat for free kind of a thing. And I don't think they're a free B team either. They're a lot better than a lot of people think they are. And I think, like I said, between a lot of teams in the split, I think there's lots of very close skill level teams, and a lot of teams can just beat each other depending on the day, to be honest.
I mean, those are my guys over there. I mean, Corey and Seven and GMD are definitely good friends of mine, and the coaching staff as well, and Kapeki, basically the whole team, actually, literally the whole team. So those are all my close homies. It's gonna be a fun time. I've never played against this iteration of TSM, but prior iterations I've never lost to. So I am undefeated in my career against TSM. So I hope to keep that going.
I don't know, honestly. I feel like newer teams like that, they don't really they haven't hit any hardships yet. Like, especially if you're adding like 2 new players. Usually it's like a honeymoon phase or whatnot, or maybe they have like everyone just vibing really well. And so like that's like potentially like a hard game, I would say. You know, but it also could just be an easy one, like you never know. So I mean, it depends on the all like atmosphere and vibe that they got going on.
You know, obviously they have a whole different roster from the split versus last split. They have Dazzle and Rossi instead, right? Of Mame and what was it, Mame and Tig. And so I think, I mean, some people might think it's like a downgrade, for example, because they lost, obviously 2 of the players got picked up on a signed roster. But I do think Rossi and Dazzle are definitely very capable players too. And so I don't even know if it's necessarily that huge of a downgrade, in my opinion. And I think, you know, Governor, I think, is definitely a huge X factor. That man's like very individually insane. He hits insane shots, a very good entry for sure. And he definitely just wins rounds off of his entries alone. And I think everyone else on the team is definitely all very well-rounded players individually. I think every one of them can have a huge amount of value throughout a round.
It's not full of X factors, but I think they're legitimately a team that any one of the 5 can actually pop off. Like, I think that's very rare in a team, like where literally 5 out of the 5 can pop off. I mean, they're a pretty consistent team in general, but you might have a standout game from Nature, you might have a standout game from Seven on the Killjoy or something like that. You know, he's been playing Jet a little bit too, but they've been doing some funky stuff with their roles. So I just think it's gonna be interesting for sure. I think it's gonna be I definitely think that's the game this whole season I'm looking forward to play the most. I think this could be a very cool matchup.
I mean, honestly, generally, a lot of this game is, unless there's like a really well-structured opponent that's really like hard thought out, you just gotta gotta play the game better, like genuinely. You just gotta play more disciplined, like outplay them, be like a step ahead if you can. And that typically is easier against teams that aren't as structured, that don't have a lot of protocols. Like Guard has a ton of protocols, and they also they have a lot of reactions to what they see. So it's hard to just be a step ahead of them when they already know what they're gonna do immediately after seeing something. Like, they're like a hard team to play against, right? Because they're very structured. But teams that don't have that in place and they don't have like all that experience together, then sometimes they fall short just because you have that advantage.
I mean, honestly, I'd just probably just give him a nice good little good luck.
Listen, Corey might be the Grinch, but he ain't got nothing. He ain't got nothing on me, dog. I'm putting that kid down.